主要 Alvin 的 PowerPoint 是英语，对，可是
需要我翻译的话，我是可以这样看，因为我在新加坡就是普通话不是常说在学校也是在教书，或者是很多这种技术上的语言，我都是所以我都是用自由英文。
对，因为我们报名的时候就希望，如果有其他朋友都可以来的话，我们就主要是新说英语。可刚好这边就可能广东话你是听得懂的，对不对？对，所以国语都可以。那我谢谢大家星期天的早上在这边然后我们其实我还是要介绍一下小耀老师。小耀老师你好，小耀老师是我们下午的那个VR 的工作坊的被派色的对象，所以他今天也来这边跟我们在一起这样子。那今天的工作坊主要是一个比较就是实务 practical 的东西，对，所以我昨天已经问 Alvin， 我什么都不认识的时候，是不是可以参加？他说可以的，所以今天就用了一个是分组的方式，希望用一个比较可以互动的方式来跟大家分享一下 Alvin 做这个 multilingual 的那个 subtitle and video treatment 的时候，他做这个网页的那个里面的一个状况，交给你。
好，谢谢。大家好，这边 ，Hello， OK， 大家好，我是林永辉所以我是从国立大学，新加坡国立大学就是人家邀请我来，就是分享我在 ASIA 做的切合，所以我今天会介绍给你的就是好像所谓的 workflow， 就是我们从剧本剧场给我们寄来剧本之后，我们从剧本就是翻译了过，然后就是用所谓的 text block， 然后就做字幕就是视频还有字幕之间的关系。所以我们现在我就是如果有些时候如果因为我英文比较我讲英语比较好，所以有时候我可以用英语来解释，双语都可以。OK， 在我开始之前，我是希望你们能够自我介绍一下，至少这对于我下一版的这个节目会有帮助，因为我会介绍一个我们所谓的 speed dating， 就是我在英国的时候。因为我从本地上面就是了解到你们可能还没有在香港就是可能没有这种大型的 performance archive， 所以其实这是最好的时间，就是用这段时间我们可以一起去练一下 ，imagine what would the performance archive be in Hong Kong， 不然不只是 performance archive， 就是不一定要有视频，我们可以想象那个 performance database 还是information， 你们当地人需要什么种资料，什么种archive 的 database， 所以我就分组，就是然后 speed dating 就是之前你们都有进行交流这是我的想法，因为这是我第一次做这种工作坊。现在的话我就从这里开始吧，你可以用普通话，也可以用广东话，没问题。因为不只是介绍给我，就是介绍给大家。
大家好，我是 Ivy， 是香港跳舞的。
谢谢。
Okay, my name is William, 我係陳偉恩啦。I was the project manager of the drama archive, a few years ago. So I have a little experience on working on the archive, but I'm not an expert at all. And now my role is probably performing art critic or.
Okay, 謝謝。
我係 Carolyn， 係香港報導團，而家做緊一個3年嘅 research project， 所以都對呢個 question。
昨天我有跟他談過他的project， 是蠻有意思的。OK， 謝謝下一位。
我係 Jenny， 我喺演藝學院嘅圖書館嗰度做嘅，咁所以有興趣關於建立資料庫。我係 Polly， 咁就我係都係
archive library 或者做 database 上嘅東西都有興趣嘅。
So we have an expert here because of
just some theories or those.
可是有很多我们就是当初学习怎么做 database， 其实都是找到 library 的人帮我们就是所谓的那些 library 的技术，没有做成 catalog， 这些都很有帮助。
大家好，大家早晨，我叫 Barry 夏 Barry 啦，咁啊係愛好者啦，咁都有參加過啲演出，咁所以有啲以前即係記錄落嚟嗰啲咧，即係我都想整理下佢嘅 ，OK， 即係整理下啲資料，所以聽你聽。
希望不會謝謝。
我叫珊珊啦，咁我同 Polly 一樣都係 Conview 嘅 library 咧，information management 嘅學生嚟嘅咁樣，所以都對 archive 有興趣，都係好中意講。So my name is Sally. So I've worked in classical music before, and my work related to this part is how to turn the newsclipping and also the some periodical things into digitalized. So that's part of the reason why I joined here. And also my personal interest is about the knowledge management in cultural organization.
Hello， 我係 Natalie， 咁就係戲劇教育嘅工作者啦。咁過往喺TAFL 都係一個推動戲劇教育嘅組織，就曾經想建立個 archive 嘅，咁但係就嗰時都係為咗即係可能有少少 library 嘅 background 嘅人去幫手。咁而家我都冇做㗎啦，其實係啦。咁但係即係我諗都係想會認識多啲，咁希望即係之後有機會睇下邊個可以再發揮。
多謝。
Janet， 我好細個，即係幾十年前嘅時候咧，我係做 acting 嘅，所以咁而家我就喺香港政府LCSC National International Service System 嗰度做。咁但係因為我哋係 posting 嘅，咁所以我哋調嚟調去。咁而家我就係喺 venue 度做。咁我都知道其實我哋未開始有funding或者即係funding可能有少少啦，去 policy 去做啊。但係呢個係真係我覺得。
Hi everyone, I'm Katrina and 咁我其實係上海人，所以更加就原諒我廣東話唔係好正。Well, I try my best. Try to learn. Okay, actually, I was in fashion background. I studied fashion design more than 20 years ago in FIT in New York. And then I came to Hong Kong, and then it's kind of translated. I translate my job to art collection and management. So that's why I start to connect to who's archive management. So actually I'm doing all my research. So as I said, I'm the one that was very many questions yesterday. So actually I'm doing the research on the Hong Kong local contemporary fashion designers. So that's why I'm very interested. I try to archive all their information, so to build up a kind of research or academic platform for sharing some things.
謝謝。我們背景都很不同，所以沒關係。所以我今天的工作坊就是我就問一些問題，就是 why archive performance and what is performance archiving。昨天你有問到一個問題，就是如果 fashion show 算不算是一個 performance？ 就是當你從 fashion show 你錄了視頻之後，你放在網上，對我來說，那這已經是一個 performance， 因為你在觀看這個 performance。所以what do you expect performance archive to be or to have， 這些都是很重要的問題，因為直接就影響到你需要或是 content management， 然後怎麼 manage 這些 content。就是其實這是我自己的興趣，想知道，因為我自己也是在想，是不是新加坡需不需要一個 performance archive， 需不需要一個 performance database， 所以我就想。就是想要問你們這同樣的問題，就是 what about the context in Hong Kong and 第二是因为我自己是一个做剧场的研究的研究员，所以我对剧场是比较，我的 background 我的背景是第二study 是戏剧，所以是fashion design 没有 classical music 也是同样的问题，都是重要的。So what would this archive be or consist of？ 现在你不用回答我，就是当你们在陈主任组队的时候，就先麻烦去想这些问题。这次的工作坊我分了2个不同的项目，第一就是video treatment and styling。为什么我会去关注这个？就是因为 performance 最重要就是要有视频，就 you need the recording, performance recording. So once you have video， 当你有视频的时候，你就最重要的就是你要关注到你需不需要翻译，你需不需要字幕。有些时候就是你东西就有点 one copy of performance， 可能那个视频就不是很好，所以就是你要怎么样去 treat， 怎么样去 convert 这个 video 是一个很重要的问题。第二个项目就比较open it up a bit more because this is more about you, what you think this Hong Kong database of performance archive is. A lot of the things that I've talked about will be very basic. It's because I'm not expect all of you to have any sort of technical knowledge, but that's fine. 因为我自己刚开始的时候也是完全不了解这些，就是当我跟 web designer 是刚 database software engineer 他们一起合作了5-6年，他们教我东西，我就慢慢就是吸收，自己也是有读一些课本，所以我就比较有了解。可是现在在网上你要找这些资料其实是很容易的，很多 menu 很多 guidelines 都在网上如果都有提供。OK。首先，我在开始之前，我要播放一样东西给你看，可能有些人已经看过了。我先不跟你说是什么视频。呢一啲賣性慾嘅表示。喺我心中有仇恨，手中握住死亡。同報仇喺我腦中震盪。當我今日從巴西返嚟嘅時候，夏波將一封信交俾皇上。夏波嚟接嗰封信，但係發現有人跟蹤，係巴西佬唔係蝦嚟㗎。我想辦法留低呢兩夫婦，自己就急急腳去倫敦買小騎龍過嚟幫手。雖然走得咁速，但係巴西王都隱約見到佢嘅身影，佢鼓起勇氣稱讚皇后。你嘅黑奴令你嘅清白變成佢身體咁嘅顏色，污糟邋遢。你摒棄所有隨從，流連於咁僻靜嘅角落，係咪因為你心有邪念啊？拉維尼亞亦都替皇上不值，薩特尼應該盡快知道呢件醜事。一個皇帝點可以蒙受咁大嘅恥辱？夏波拉為咗令佢哋留低。燈可以幫我開一下。Okay, so just imagine this script coming to me and no knowledge of Cantonese, but because at that time, this came to us very early, very it was like the second edition. We have first edition we only had 5 productions, but this was the second edition that our production by then. So a Cantonese script comes to me, and at that time I was still completely don't understand what was being spoken on stage. So what to do? So in the end, we had to ask Hao to introduce someone, his colleague, to actually help us translate. Because what it came to us was the Cantonese script. I'm going to show you the Cantonese script. And then what we need to do was to translate the Cantonese into 普通话. I think that was the first challenge. Why did I say it's a challenge? Because I grew up studying. 我是用简体中文的，所以我学中文的时候是用简体字的。所以当我看到繁体字，也不是好，只要全是要繁体字就可以了，对吗？不是这样的，因为呢，当你看，好像打个比方，好像有些字就是广东话才可以看到，对吗？就是能帮我读一下吗？今日佢帶住剩翻嗰4個仔。Right. So imagine I have to do the subtitling for this. It's going to be very difficult because I don't understand like the end particles. In linguistics, we call this the end particles, right? 因为在广东话好像很多这种，就是看一下。我跟这个我说这个字，我觉得这是什么意思？我完全不知道。可是当我看到的，当那个翻译员帮我翻译成中文，就是原来这是他所做的一切。可是你会注意到，就是这个翻译员很好，就是他如果广东话有几个字的话，他会设出来，就是比较简体字，他就会用完全一样的字就是一样的数目，一样 same number of characters. That helped me a lot. But from a sub-editorial point of view, what is actually very important is you need to kind of separate the text, right? In a while, I'll show you how you separate the text from a technical way. But what I had to then make sure is there's sort of equal block of text. So this is actually a very practical sort of consideration when you do subtitling. So what that really means, but then you realize that in English, when we translate to English, this was actually taken from Shakespeare's script, right? So it's actually very hard to kind of 普通话有广东话、简体字还是繁体字，至少能够分同样的行。可是当你 when you compare this to English, it's then a bit slightly more complicated, right? Okay. So what we have to do, 这是我第一次分享文的时候，其实是很多工作的。There's a lot of work involved when we decide to do translation. Okay. Don't worry about this coding. I think that's not important for now. I just want you to kind of appreciate how we have to separate the script into different blocks. The first column are the time codes. So going back to that same. 至于为什么我们用这个方式、这个方法来做time coding，是因为打个比方，就是如果我是一个完全因为不一定每次我们都可以找到一个懂那个语言的人来做这个 text blocking， 所以当我们有了这个方式之后，至少你从这个 Word document 你 copy 的时候其实是很容易的。 就你直接就是像 copy paste 到 Excel 就 OK 了。可是最后的那个 the last step， 就是time coding， 就是一定要在那个如果会广东话的那个 time code， 这个是一定是没法可能还是有办法，就是至少要了解一下。只要你能够读其中一个语言，其实还是有办法的。 那是我就是这个视频是我带过的，其实，所以至少我能够 跟一点点，我觉得能够因为这里没有网络，所以我可以给你看，只是 how it works online. But what I think this shows how it appears on the archive. 就是如果你点击这里的话，就是能够转换那些那个语言。这是 ASI 自己独特的方式，其实是很多有不同的方法，很多不同的 software 我们能够下载每个 software 都有它自己的 menu 自己的 guidelines， 就是现在已经the main sort of recommendation I have for you if you want to deal with video subtitling is to use open source, so that even if you have no budget for tech, you should go and learn by yourself from the menus. You can still use them for free. It only becomes slightly expensive when, say, you want to get someone to customize the video player. But that's not what we're going to talk about today, because that's a bit too high level, even for me. Okay, because it involves, say, things like securing the video player so nobody can download it. That's actually a very important issue. 我最常用的 software 就是这两个是要还钱的。如果有机会，让你去拍个照。这个是免费，而且这个其实是很好用的，因为这个是用 JavaScript 所以这其实是而且是 open source， 很容易去开放的去 customize。这个不好意思，因为我可以完全修你这个URL， 可是这个也是有同样的介绍不同的 software 给你。OK， 这就是少带片，就是跟我们的方式不一样，主要是因为我们认为不可以 ，we can't let script be sort of secondary to the performance， 因为我们不想让人看电影，然后要一排字一排字的这样去看，因为这样其实会影响到你会不会？其实有时候你会完全不会去注意那些字幕，尤其是因为你已经了解广东话，你不会去。In a way, it was sort of undermining the hard work we put into the script, and so you might not actually appreciate like the translation itself. So it's actually important that we at least show a larger block of text so that you are not just watching the performance, but you're also watching the performance of the translation. Especially when you can then, 你可以，当你有好像英文的字幕，你可以开始就是讲，到底丹轩老师是怎么样去翻译这个剧？有哪些字，哪一场戏，它其实是完全是没有演到的。有时候你会发现，好像演员就是完全忘记了你拍字 they forget the lines, that actually you can spot the mistakes. That's actually a kind of very interesting sort of way to do research, because you're asking yourself, okay, why is this at this moment the actor forgot this line? And instead, sometimes they might even improvise. Okay. 还有就是我们 ASI 还有不同的一个功能，就是我们的 editor 编辑，它有时候就是如果一部戏有好像比较特殊、比较local context、local reference 的话，它就是我们可以附上我们所谓的 annotation， 就是去介绍一些好像这部戏是因为有那种shamans， 有那种religious practice。如果你这样直接看，你会认为这只是好像文化艺术这样，其实不是。其实他那个导演是有联想到，因为他自己本身就是认识到真正的 shaman 是真的 spirit medium， 所以这里就是介绍为什么这部戏特别的，就是特殊的用到shaman 这个。 主要这个 first part I really just want to introduce to you what is involved in terms of multilingual translation. At this point, are there any questions? Because I just want to kind of briefly introduce, but you might have specific questions pertaining to maybe your own work, but you need to know from me. So that's why I'm going to stop here and then sort of just open up to all of you just to share. 你可以分享你自己可能面对的问题。
我有一个问题，就是说，帮你做这些东西的人，他有没有受过一个 archivist 一个专业的 professional 一个 training？
哦。
因为我知道 archive 它本身是有一个，它是属于 information technology 的一个 subject。So in that case, do you need them to have some professional training？
现在我们那时候就是找了一个公司，它是其实是专门做 website 的，而且我们至于为什么我们会选这个公司，是因为他们已经有对这方面的技术已经有经验的，所以这个公司他们是帮有听说新加坡的华裔节嘛，就是他们帮华裔节的那个网页就是他们设计的，所以就算你做一个就是艺术节的网页，其实都是需要用到 database 的，所以他们已经对好像 video 还有 content management 已经很有一定的经验的，所以我们才选择他们。Right. So the first consideration when you choose whether it's a tech company or whether it's a software engineer, you want them to be able to understand like the importance of the integration between video, text, social media, especially, and that's actually a very important sort of consideration. Having said that, doesn't mean that because especially if you don't have budget, you might not be able to afford like a professional software company to help you. So at least find a freelance software web designer that understands, know how to kind of work with video and work with text.
So since you mentioned budget, so in your opinion, it was expensive? Because I have no clue. I just want to get some market price because last year there's a company, they called me is 100,000 Hong Kong dollars for 即係砌一個咁樣嘅 website 揾錢。I don't know how much work behind at the back, but they told me it's like 100,000. So I don't know if it's expensive or not.
新币是多少
Yes. Because I would just roughly describe it to them what I need, you know, and so archiving and
其实因为这行业其实已经国际化了，所以很多时候就是不一定要在本地找software engineer。其实最便宜两个地方是大陆，就是国内还有印度。对，而且有些时候就是有些部分，有些时候有些公司就算是在香港，可能他会找印度的software engineer 来帮忙做这块项目，所以这些东西是你不知道的，所以因为我认识里面的人，他们那个解释给我听，就是有些时候是这个情况，因为他们为了省钱，可能其实是去找。Having said that, I think the reason why we were able to put out this archive because we established a very long-term relationship with the tech company. 所以有些新的技术其实是他们去帮我们开发的，就是因为10年前是没有这种技术，其实是很少。It's very rare to actually find this sort of technical expertise. But at this point, I can tell you it's actually very easy now. Everyone knows how to work with database and video, right? So there are also certain standards. And some of us, I think I talk about the other presenters, they also talk about how it's actually there are a lot of international standards now， 所以很多那些技术员、software engineer 都对这方面对 performance arts 的archiving 其实是有一定的了解的，所以不用担心找不到人。不是这边就是通常我们就是现在我们在做新的一个项目，所以我们通常是找3个。We will find 3 quotations. So usually, obviously we pick the cheapest, right? But cheap doesn't mean it's bad. So what is more important is that you understand the company's portfolio. You see what they have really done before, preferably a company that has really done. So you don't have to 特意去找一个就是专门做 performance archive performance database。只要他们有可能做艺术节的 design， 还是帮一个剧团做 web design， 他们都是应该是会蛮了解，就是我们这些 performing arts 的our needs， 我们需要我们的to us what is important as artists， so that's actually a very important consideration。还有别的问题吗
I think you mentioned about the variation between the video and different dialogues, different from the script. Because sometimes when they have their premiere or after the premiere, they will change the script. So how would you or do you really ask the artist, oh, have it changed in purpose, or as you said, the actor missed the line? So you have to do the fact checks about this.
Yes, but what they give us is what we have. We can't purposefully ask them to prepare a different script. So we rather have the production script because I think it's actually, as a researcher, I rather see the production script than the performance script because that allows me to see like a sort of improvisation, what changes they make on the spot. 如果那些做剧团的人都应该了解，就是每一场戏其实都是。
So you intend to show the difference?
Yes. Because it's impossible to expect a theatre company to provide you with recordings of every performance. So we do want to kind of show you that there are gaps here, but it's precisely because of those gaps that makes the study of this performance interesting. Yeah.
我昨天留意到你那个 video 下面有一行，昨天的时候有一行，very fast running Korean。
对。
那个是什么？
那个是他们就是介绍演员，因为在韩国还有在日本他们有时候会自己的剧团就是会自己。卖他们的 DVD， 就是他们会自己去录成录像，然后就是能够they tend to sell their own shows as part of their commercial. Not so much as to earn money, but sometimes it's also to kind of for educational purposes. 所以有些时候他们就会有自己的字幕。
也就是说，那像是广告，
不是广告，就是介绍，就是每个演员他们的名字是这样的那个，所以昨天我有提到嘛，就是日本人就是他们很喜欢flashing text across 他们那个。
那不是你们做上面，是他们不是
对，我忘了就是提到3个Maybe this will interest you, but maybe you won't. It's okay. I thought I better mention this, which is hard subbing and soft subbing. There's something interesting about ASIA, which is commercially available recordings that come to ASIA usually have hard subs. So one of the things we do, some of the policy we do, and this is not ideal, is that if the recording has, do you understand like hard subbing and soft subbing? 就是刚刚你看到一些，他提到的就是 text on the video itself. That's a hard subbing, so it's really embedded with the video. Whereas soft subbing is a separate file. So a video player is able to then retrieve the text file and then show it with the video. So now almost online players can do that. So the reason why I show you the text box just now is so that you can convert it into a soft sub. So we do a soft subbing approach so that even if like video standards change, video formats change, we still have that soft sub, that text file. And the text file is very versatile. You can convert the text file into different formats depending on those changing software standards. Right, so in this case, we convert it to XML. Okay. Is it too technical? They can stop me. But basically, soft sub, there are different standards, there are different file formats. 因为我本身很喜欢看连续剧，尤其是从韩国剧有日剧，所以他们这方面真是太厉害了。如果今晚有一部戏的话，在2个小时后，他们就可以直接有一个翻译的那个 text file 了。所以只需要一个人去下载这个 text file， 他们就可以，然后就是播放那个视频，就是直接那个 video player 可以直接就是连接在一起。他们很厉害，很多东西都是我从他们学到的。So if you were also looking at some of this， 尤其是国内他们是太厉害了，就是在2个小时之后就能够就是做出一个整个很完整的就是翻译 text file。对于hard subbing还有soft subbing的问题。就算这些人不是做performing arts 的，他们有这技术方面的他们了解，所以其实你可以问这些人，在 forum 他们都是很 friendly 的，如果你有用微信的话，就是他们有这种 forum groups 他们有那种 public groups， 可以直接去问他们你怎么做这些 soft sub， 他们其实是很厉害。也不是说我去找他们，就是我的 software engineer 他有些不了解，其实是去问这些 volunteers， 他们就是自己愿意去做这些 subtitling， 因为太喜欢看韩剧了，所以喜欢让他们自己去学这些语言，然后做这种翻译，其实对他们来说是一个 hobby， 是一个所以他们已经练习到很厉害的程度了。有些时候我就觉得他们比我们自己请来的那些 translator 还厉害。如果没有问题的话，我就接下来就是谈这个 database 还有 catalog 的这项。首先我要介绍就是 ASI 给我们用的特殊的 metadata structure。所谓的 metadata structure 就是所谓的好像一种 content management 的一个 structure， 所以你要不管你是做 performance database， 还是就算你是做那种 e-commerce 这种online shop 的话，都是需要用到 database 的。因为打个比方就是 let's say you have a blog shop and then you want to sell your clothes, you also need to manage your content. Okay, what is using your dress. So under dress, you would have a list of items that you have in your inventory. Under blouse, you would have another set. Under skirt, you have another set. Under shirts, you will have another set of data. 所以不管你是做什么，你要去网上要有 data 有 content 的话，就是需要至少了解一下怎么样做一个 database。就算你自己不是设计这个 database 的人，你要当你在跟好像 software engineer discussion 的时候，你至少 at least go and read out about database structure so that you at least can have a meaningful discussion with the software designer. 所以首先我先介绍一下 ASI， 如果你们看不到的我很小不小心让你看到我的太太结婚的照片。OK， 所以我们有分所谓的4种不同的 category。 主要就是 in the center we think of the performance itself, and each performance we then subdivide into 4 main categories. So namely production, art forms, reception, and reference. So what production really means is 就是艺术作为过程艺术按拍与制作的语境，还有艺术家与艺术。所以 what I mean by this is that you actually at the most basic level provide like so the production information. 所以很多这些资料都是从program 就是演出的那个 program， 当我们 digitalize 之后，我们就从那边索取资料，就是 director、main cast 之类的。至于 art forms， 因为这是比较特殊一点，因为我们因为有分类了不同的演出，不同的，就是好像在日本可能主要的art forms 就好像有人剧、kabuki、bunraku， 所以是需要分类不同的 art forms 的，尤其是因为我们geographically speaking is a wide geographical range, and hence there's a wide range of performance forms. 至于 reception 的话，就是当演出完at the end of performance, then there will be reviews, criticism. There will also be academic essays. So we actually have a whole list of different data entries on the reception, but we only keep those that are in publication. 就是如果报章有发表我们的评论，我们就可以收集这些but we also keep blog reviews. So even like amateur reviews, we will make a PDF of the web page of the blog and actually keep it. And then we use these bibliographic standards to then keep the information. Reference is something slightly more interpretative, which is we actually think about whether a specific production has some sort of political reference. So if there's, say, a local production that refers to, say, the umbrella movement, then under cultural reference or under topical reference, we would write about umbrella movement as part of that specific reference. So let's say on stage, they use the yellow umbrellas, for example, right? Then when they use umbrellas as a sort of reference, we will actually point to a specific scene and tell them that you can actually go to this scene to see where this reference occurs. So this is how we use reference. But specific to Shakespeare productions, we will also look at things like Shakespeare references, so that then we can annotate and explain how they make creative use of the Shakespeare reference. Is this line repeated often or emphasized in the performance? This is just a summary of what I just explained. 有任何问题吗？请给您开口照。Yes.
这个 database structure 跟平常的 database structure 有一点不同，特别是这个visual arts 里边的，因为 visual arts 里边是比较是用这个布料大小 dimension， 还有这些颜色演出家这些，但是这个 database structure 是比较有一点秀上，因为有一些接收艺术仪器参照点也是比较秀上。那么在进行的时候，这个修正资料的时候，其实会有很大的 challenge 在这边，因为跟平常的很不一样。
对，所以为了开发这个 database， 我们花了很久的时间。所以 conceptually we understand what this structure is。可是我们花了很多时间解释给我们的 database 的 software engineer，因为他们不了解我们的需求。 所以到头来 is a mix between. So I'm going to introduce two different kind of structure. What happens with ASI structure is that we combine both structures. Okay, so the very first structure that I'm going to skip this and I'll come back to this in a while. Okay, so that's to kind of answer your question. Is the tree structure. Okay, so ASI 用的大部分就是用所谓的 tree hierarchical structure， 所谓的 parent-child structure， 就是 parent 就是好像一个 main category。parent 不一定要有不一定要有资料，这是你的 category。child 反而是那个 value， 就是那个资料。So the details, the data that you need. So this data belongs to this parent. That's why they use in database structure. They use this metaphor, the parent and child. Okay, what it actually means is attribute values and the relationship between the categories. So let's take this for example under production. So in itself, these two are not child. These are categories. But it's further subdivided into role name, and that's where you get the value, which is you get the information of the role name. So in Shakespeare, so in Titus, for example, 刚才看的那个单书的演出如果里面有 Titus， 就是谁演 Titus， 当然是单书老师自己演 Titus。Then you have the value of the actor's name, which is Tanshu. So this is a very kind of basic structure that we have. Okay, 这是我们的后台。所以打个比方，如果我是去后台，就是加那个资料的话，我就是必须去到。现在比较先进，this is a very old technology, so it still actually looks very primitive, but this is what we did. We did a database content management system 8 years ago, so it's quite primitive. Okay, but it still serves our purposes, so we didn't change. We don't have the money to change it. So then you would see the tree structure, right? So the role name. 每一块资料我们都是有翻译的，所以当我们when we insert or we enter one data, we need to enter 4 times. So there's a lot of work there involved. I think now it's sophisticated enough for you to sort of do coding as to you can do automatic entries. Now it's a bit. My time was a bit tedious. Okay, so then you see the actor's name. Same thing. Okay, this is where it gets a bit complicated because it's a new form of way of doing database. It's called the relational database. The reason why we say we use a bit of relational database is because what it also emphasizes on is the relationship. So let's say you have a data entry like, it's very blurry here, so better? Okay. So you actually also emphasize the relationship between one data entry with another. So for example, performer and play, you also create a sort of a relation. So performer performs in this play or performs in this data company. So that you actually form, so there is no hierarchical structure, is very linear, right? It's one direction. This one allows you to kind of imagine from 从前台方面你看的话，你会好像如果你刚好在这一块this part of the information, you are able to kind of jump to this data company or go back, or you can move from here to here. So then the information is organized in a sort of fluid, organic way, right? So there's not fixed in one place. It's constantly you can move around the data. So it gives like from a design point of view a lot of flexibility. Okay? So maybe the librarians actually know this very well, because I think library, at least from my university library, they are all converted into sort of relational database. Right? So there's now there's also standards. It's called Dublin Core. So they use that specific sort of language to design databases like this. The reason why I'm not going to spend a lot of time is because I'm not asking you to kind of design on the spot a database structure like this, because it can be quite complex. Instead, I will show you some of very simple way of understanding why database structures are important. Okay, so this is a relational database, but you don't have to worry about the back end. Okay, from your point of view, from the level of conceptualizing, on your part, what is actually more important is to consider the types of information you want to provide to your user, right? So if you think about the different categories you want to have, in a way, it's about thinking about how you manage the content, both from your point of view as an archivist, an understanding of what information you have with you, right? And then you translate that information into something that is easy to access for a user, right? In this case, this is a data archive, it's a database. It groups different things into objects. Okay? What is more clear, I think, is in this. This, for example, groups them in terms of genres. Right? So different genres. So if you click on one particular genre, it will then show all the collections that are within this main category. What's also interesting is that they also include criticism or reviews or critical essays, and then that's why they also have to include these commentators, some of big category that's called commentators. Or you can also group your collection under practitioners. What I appreciate about the use of the word practitioner, for example, is that there's no emphasis on directors. Because we know some performance forms are collaborative, there's no sort of director per se, when instead you have different creators that come together to create a show. This is more of a card system. Again, design-wise is very primitive because they actually developed it around the same time as we did. So, but I think it's still worth looking at a structure like this, which is interesting because this is more of a hierarchical structure. So what happens here is that when you click on one of the, I call them cards, okay? So let's say you look at here, this is works, okay? So under the database there's works. When you click on it, it opens up a whole list of works that they have in their collection. Can you see? Okay. But this is grouped under A to Z. It's sorted by that. Okay. If you click on one of the, you see the blue one, this is it's a hyperlink. If you click on it, it calls out another card, right? And under there you will see different, so before that was a play. And you will see then different productions of that play. Right? So again, it helps you sort out the different performances, productions of that play. And if you click again on that particular production, then it lists down all the information you need about that particular production. Right? So in a way, it's a kind of structure, it's a hierarchical structure, it's a linear structure. But having said that, it's able to then help you to go back. Because right now, the most common thing you'll find is what we call tags. T-A-G-S, tags. So when you click on it, you can actually then, like here for example, is actually a tag. So if you press this, then you will see every production that this data company has done over the years. So that again lists down. So right these days, there's technology that allows you to kind of hyperlink all the information together. But on your part, you need to at least understand or conceive of a structure that allows you the flow you want information to be organized. Okay, so far so good. So think of this data management structure as a card system. So I use the analogy of card system. Who can still remember? 还现在记得去图书馆的时候，就是你翻阅那些卡片的时候，你才能选了这个卡片，然后才去when you borrow a book, you actually have different cards. I'm not sure the librarians still do that, but a lot of the database structures are actually informed by library structures. So it's very interesting that it actually replicates the card system of a library. So one way to think about database structure is to think of like your file system, your cards. Okay? But you don't just want cards to be isolated. You have to think also of the links, the connection between the cards. Right? So in a way, it's thinking about it as a kind of exhibition, the journey you want your user to go through. We also use a bit of a card system because in case some people don't like our bubbles, because it's quite, sometimes we open up all the bubbles, it's quite messy. So instead we just have a card that they can see all the information in one go. Okay, so I briefly introduced to you those structures. It's just a brief introduction. So what I want to do now is actually invite you to dream up, imagine a database, an archive. And the reason why I'm so sort of open about those categories, because a lot of categories I introduced to you are specific to theatre, and that might not be relevant to you. So what I think is actually more useful to think about is to think of your own particular structure and database. So what I'm going to do now is actually get you to do a bit of speed dating. I learned this from London because I went to a workshop. And what's interesting about that workshop is that they actually put us together, so we have the arts people on one side, and then they have the engineers and the software people on the other side. So some of the things I heard from the software engineers is that we don't know the human side of it. We don't know how to narrativize the experience. We only know how to do the technical part of it. So that's why we need the humanities people, we need the arts people to teach us how to create a user experience, a good user experience. So in a way, you can think of your website and database as a sort of performance, as a sort of exhibition. So you are actually curating information together. That's why they put us together. So what I will do now is ask you to just very quickly, you only have, you find a partner first, spend 1 minute introducing yourself again, talk about your own sort of like your concerns, your aspiration, your dreams, your concerns. Maybe one of you are already working on archive and you really start to know what to do. So find a partner first, and then from that partner we will try to find a group. Okay? So spend our time. Okay? So 1 minute, I will stop the time, and then you have to change partners. Okay? Until then you can kind of work out, okay, who I want to be part of this group. So preferably the librarians try not to be together. Okay, but each group should at least have one librarian. That would be quite kind of interesting, right? Because I hope to kind of encourage a sharing session more than anything else. Okay, so I'm going to first stand up. I know some of you are tired. I still need my coffee, but okay. 先站起来。都不要 speed dating， 不用 speed dating。OK， 可以了。 接开始，然后直接开始讨论。You have 1 minute now to start your speed meeting. 1 minute, and then we change. 这属于你讨论的那些 film festival 的 archive， 先让他们介绍一下吧。
那我们可能用几种语言。
对，都可以。
我们的概念是用film festival 或是香港的 film festival 或是一些 competition 去作为基本的 theme。其实因为我们就是看到有很多好像是 Flash Wave FVA 这些香港首部剧情片这种的不同的分类或者 competition 在市面上，所以我们就希望我们的 purpose， 其中一个 purpose 就是 promote Hong Kong arts film talent and also as a record of Hong Kong new wave film history。所以我们就把我们的database 就先想成有这些不同的 category 不好意思，我们其中有些 category 就是 funding source， 就是可能从政府的钱，然后 ABC 的钱，或是阿三塔的钱，或是有一些是 commercial 或是咖啡 funding 的category， 然后就当然是有人在里面的 people， 有 crew cast 或是director 在里面，然后当然会有 genre， 就是有不同类型的电影。例如是 thrill、romance 或是 cartoon 这些东西，然后当然就有希望这个 database 会有不同 film festival 里面的不同的 film info， 例如是 titles、synopsis、发行的年份，他参加过什么 overseas 的 awards 或是competition， 然后就他最后得到的 awards。duration、distribution info， 例如是 venue 这些东西，然后当然是有 format 这些 film info 在里面，然后我们也参考的Elfen 的 website 的资料，就是有 research 这个部分，就例如是 critics 或是一些读后感，这些看后感这些东西，然后最后是有related events 这个 category， 希望有 opening ceremony 不同的 award ceremony 或是 master class director talks related to that film festival， 我们都会记录在里面这样子。然后我们的 content 就希望会有不同的 format， 例如有 video 的 format， 可能会摆放那些trailers 整部片的 video 或是一些 behind scene 那些东西，然后 images 会有，当然会有的，例如是 poster 或是一些 cast 或是director自己的 profile pic 那些东西，然后当然会有 test， 如果有些电影他们愿意给我们 script 或是一些 critics， 我们都会放上去。然后我们这个简陋的图里面会有蓝色的东西的 arrows 那些，就是我们希望可以把不同的 elements 都把它串联起来，变成一个 relational database。例如如果我们 front end 想focus on director 的东西的话，我们会把 director train 到他有获过的那个 awards 或是他参加过participation overseas participation 然后当然是会有他拍过的那些影片的 title 这些东西，这样子。
觉得可以做，我鼓励你去做，因为我本身也是有教学生有所以这种 database 很有用。其实我知道很难做，可是我刚刚讨论的时候就是说到film festival 其实很好做，因为资料都有，都能够找到所以说困难说不困难说，其实是很好做的好过，就是我觉得我觉得 film director and production 这种 film production company 他们比较
少数服从多数，所以后来我们的 discussion 都是 local performing arts archives。但是讨论完以后呢，我们觉得其实 contemporary fashion archives 有些东西也是可以介入去用的。为什么我们要做这个 local performing arts archive 呢？就是因为我们需要分享，就是我们希望可以保存 preservation， 然后是 research， 就是帮助后现代的剧场人做。好了，然后info 跟 content 呢，就是完全是 team 随便的讲一下，其实大家会想到，就是我们会有，而且我们想的是第二个的。第二个图的就我们没有想到是dance 两个 genre， 就是主要是 drama theater 跟 musical 而已，因为其实不同的platform有不同的需要，对不对？然后是我们觉得最重要的就是 script， 然后就是那个 performance 的 visuals， 我们希望的那些 performance 的还有自己的 clips， 就是怎么讲，就是人家要去看他的演出，然后是那个演出很长嘛。然后可能他要集中的去看到底他演的怎么样，就他的不用完全的去看这个 performance， 然后他有一个 monologue 什么的，就可以表现到那个 performer 的水平。然后我们觉得prompt 也是很重要的，对，然后有 cue sheet 那些比较后台的东西，然后呢就是比较 technical 的东西，就是我们希望有 costume drawings 有 lighting plan 有 set 然后是 props， 怎么讲呢？就是因为那个 set 是很大的 costume 也是很多的，就是怎么去床呢？我们觉得 photo 是不够的，我们希望有 3D scanning。
需要那个 AutoCAD 的那个drawing 吗？
然后因为我们想到有musical 嘛，所以我们也希望去保存那个 music score， 然后那个notation， 那个 notation of those choreography。然后关于promotional 的方面，就是我们会有希望有 poster leaflet house program 这些大家都可能会想到的东西。然后我们觉得也是很重要的，对，就是照片那个演员的 cast photos 我们觉得重要的就是 work in progress， 就是我们看到那个 product 最后的 production 是这个样子，但是它中间的样子，我们希望也会有一个记录。这个我们知道是很难的，因为可能是 director's note 他会写一些，但是更多的他是讲的，然后可能他的剧本也是很乱的什么的，但是如果可以的话，我们希望都保存下来。可能就是有些 rehearsal 我们会直接是 video 什么的，对，就是这样子。
有些导演可能不会让你进去看的。
对，然后可以收一些actors 的 performance 的 log， 对，就是这样子。然后我们希望也会有 review， 如果可以的话呢，就是不一定是关这个 archive， 怎么讲，就是我们也希望有 channel 就不一定是 theater 跟 musical， 就是希望怎么讲，因为现在我们也是有一些 channel， 但是好像不够集中。如果有一个地方很集中的，是什么都看到的就好了。最后的我们觉得最大的 obstacle 就是 copyright 的问题。这样。
我提一下，就是说，AAA 那边的，昨天那个 David 他那边有跟我提到一个 ownership， 一个 music rights， 这使用权跟那个拥有权是两件事情。那么就是说，他们说那个他们 AAA 就是说很多艺术家的作品买 information， 就是说其实他的 ownership 是属于这个艺术家的，但是他们授权给那个AAA 是一个使用权。那当然，具体它里面是怎么操作，我就不知道了。但是就是我 mention 一下有这样一件事情。
尤其是你们这个 project 就需要很多，在 copyright 方面就需要写很多不同的想法。
还有一件事就是说，我曾经问过我在上那个 master 那个 master， 就是说问他我们一些在如果我们 public 一些 information from music， 一些比如说好像我们 fashion from the fashion magazine， 好像还有我们一些杂志。那么我说我如果把他的一些资料 抽出来它的 source 是哪里，他说你就可以用。
对。
但我是不是这样子？所以我就因为我想听一下多一点的 voices， make sure it's clear。
所以你在多用 one thing is important is the terms and agreement， 就是terms of usage for the user。是你要在你的 legal team 写一个 terms and conditions for the user， 就是保护你自己的 rights。是这样的，也就是说也在我们research 方面的话，我们只能用 10% 是免费的，就是不用去找他们的补助。
这个 10% 是一个 international standard。
对，是一个 international standard。对。
就是这个 10% 就是在你整个网站上出现的 content。
对，是 10% 的那个内容。对，所以如果说一个视频有2个小时，如果你没有完全的版权的话，如果 is for non-commercial use， 你可以抽出10% of 2个小时的视频网站。OK， 我们时间不够，所以接下来4个组就是可以介绍一下你们的，分享一下你们的 concept。
好，我講廣東話啦。我哋會講係dance 嘅一個 platform 啦，咁就會我哋嘅 vision 咧，我哋係希望喺一個 dance 嘅 platform， 咁無論係業界又好啦，觀眾都好啦，佢哋都可以去呢個 platform 嗰度咧睇到一個舞蹈作品嘅一啲嘅內容啦，即係個製作上面同時間嘅一啲嘅記錄啦。咁我哋諗咧嗰個界面啦，會有啲咩嘢可以撳入去咧？咁第一可能有 production 或者 project 啦，有 company 啦，有 artist 或者 producer 啦，同埋 genre 啦。咁然之後再喺呢啲嘅裏邊咧，我哋都會分翻嘅 project 裏邊可能係唔同時期，譬如創作排嘅過程啦，演出嘅關於演出嘅嘢啦，同埋演出之後嘅嘢啦。咁 under 呢啲咧，我哋就諗咗好多唔同嘅 items 嘅，其實即係份 artist 又好，份行政又好。譬如喺個排練創作裏邊，可能 artist 會有一啲嘅創作理念啦，或者創作 reference 啦，咁每一個 reference 其實都係唔同嘅 items 啦。咁然之後過程入邊，除咗呢啲之外，可能都有訪問啊、排練啊，或者佢哋嘅 related 嘅 workshop 嘅 video 嘅 image 啦，或者相啦。另一方面都會有即啲 production 嘅 blog 啦，或者係 creative 嘅 journal 啦。咁呢啲咧，我哋頭先諗，我哋都未 figure out 點樣可以好好地擺喺呢個 platform 裏邊嘅。因為頭先我哋話，我哋可以將佢分咗類，即 profession 啊、company 啊、artist 啊、genre 啊。咁呢啲係即上面嗰個大嘅 category。咁當然我哋要入去細分，我哋可以慢慢 click 到入去。我哋舉個例子可能個 artist 喺個創作過程度，佢咪諗到佢其中一個 reference 係幅畫嚟嘅。咁但係我哋點樣可以譬如我哋有人想揾下嗰幅畫，咁係咪可以直接去到揾？即係我哋咪要 click 好多陣先至去到嗰個 artist 其實 reference 嗰一樣嘢咧。咁當然其中一樣嘢就係加個 tag 啦，或者 keyword 啦。咁呢一個係頭先我哋諗嘅會係可以即係最容易 search 到嘅咧。咁當然呢一個亦都牽涉到我哋要留啲乜嘢 tag 同埋啲乜嘢 keyword 喺裏邊啦。咁呢個我哋頭先都仲喺度討論緊嘅。咁so far 我哋就諗咗係一個咁嘅 platform 啦。咁當然嗰個困難或者我哋嘅考慮就係究竟譬如如果係個 artist， 其實佢會唔會真係有咁多時間去處理到呢啲嘅 items， 譬如我整理翻佢嗰個創作日誌啊，或者係佢嘅階段嘅 reference 啊，然之後亦都願意去擺喺呢個 platform 上面咧。咁同埋有好多我哋頭先都傾咗好多就譬如可能究竟呢個 platform 度作為一個創作人，佢想睇啲咩咧 ？artist 佢想入嚟揾創作 reference， 佢用得到咧？或者行政嘅人佢想揾，譬如攞買一個 venue 做過嘅一啲嘢，其實係咪咁易揾到咧？咁其實我都仲喺度討論緊嘅。
OK， 我覺得可做。I think in fact you are doing something like that.
It's much more difficult because for artists, I mean, film festival is easy because most of them are already there. There's a lot of administrators, Even the artists that may be more complicated.
所以我不知道香港的情况，就是在新加坡的话，就是 photographer 可能不属于一个photographer 可能是起来的，所以对，所以版权方面就是不知道是找这个 photographer 还是找这个，对吧？所以是蛮困难的这个问题。不过我只是想要至少能够了解一下需要的资料，而且他们也有想到那个 tag search tag， 这是蛮重要的地方，因为你不只要想到你的资料是怎么收集起来，你也要想到用户要怎么样去搜索这个资料，是一个蛮重要的。OK， 最后一组到的是我记不得了。
咁我哋咧嘅諗法好簡單嘅，就係整一個 database for filter 嘅用嘅，即係我哋呢個 database 係 internal use 就唔會對外嘅。咁最大目的就係方便各位同事可以容易揾資料。係啦，但係我哋咧喺呢個諗嘅時候咧，因為我哋嘅目標係將所有我哋有機會 archive 嘅擺入去啦。咁我哋咧就發覺其實咧呢一個係一個龐大嘅嘢嚟嘅。咁首先我哋要archive 基本上嘅嘢，譬如基本 script 啦、director 音樂生 rehearsal 啊嘅 note 啊、music scores 啊、stage band 咧，係呢啲係可以有 record 嘅，我哋呢啲就 archive 啦。跟住人員嘅名單啦都會 archive 啦。跟住譬如 set 啊、cost 嗰啲，我哋想影相嘅，我哋未去到3D scan 咁樣嘅，咁呢個 performance 嘅所以嗰個資源我哋覺得個資源更加好睇啦。咁 performance videos 啦咁樣，咁亦都會係另外一個 category 入邊。咁另外啲譬如 marketing 嘅嘢，我哋會開另外一個 category。基本上 marketing plan 啊、leaflet 嘅 key image 啊、concept 嘅 plan， 我哋都覺得係需要嘅。咁我哋比較特別嘅處理就係我哋唔知 house program 我哋屬於會唔會 programming 會比較適合啲咧？因為始終都係佢哋揀咗呢個嘅 production， 然後咧佢哋去推行嘅。雖然做嘅時候多數比較係 marketing 咯。咁另外一啲就係 review 啊 critics 寫嘅後，即係喺一個 filter 完咗之後嘅 feedback， 我哋都想會盡量收緊嘅。咁我哋 categorization 入邊，我哋都會希望會有 songwriters 啦，同埋一啲 director 嘅 reference 嘅。咁 songwriter 嗰方面係因為我哋都喺度諗緊，其實點樣方便到之後嘅人去研究。因為其實我哋而家呢個 database 雖然本身係 for 一個 internal use， 即係我哋可能係假設啦，我係一個 programming 嘅同事，我要做 rerun， 但係我唔想我10年嘅 rerun 都係同一個 key image 㗎嘛，咁或者係我唔想10年跟同一個 script 㗎嘛，我都要 update 嘅時候，咁所以呢個 database 就可以好適合我哋用，但係都唔難講我哋將來需要做研究，譬如一個 production， 我做超過10年嘅時候，都會希望有一個 research 去研究翻點解呢個 production 可以做到10年，而當中10年有啲咩變化咁樣。咁所以我哋喺 Trauma 嗰度，我哋都係諗緊究竟有啲咩 keywords 或者有啲咩嘢係真係可以適合幫到之後咧。咁呢個我哋係未有定落嘅。咁 director reference 就係我哋希望，因為有時有啲嘅 production 可能只不過係好似頭先其他做到係 director 佢哋自己有啲 take reference 啦，或者 actor take reference 去做。呢啲點子點樣去收集係同埋處理咧，我哋都係未諗到方法嘅，係啦。咁所以根據呢個 scale 咧，我哋最後定論就係我哋需要攞多個分定。我哋攞分定我哋做唔到嘅。
OK， 非常謝謝你們。有時間的話呢？
这边有没有朋友要到下面的 VR session 的？哦，那如果有的话，可能朋友你先上去。
我现在很快的总结一下 ，OK， 就是我谢谢大家能够参加这个工作坊。我主要的目的就是希望能够启发还是影响到你，很认真的去讨论，想象一下。如果香港需要一个 performance 乐园，就是 performance art 到底这个 每一个 performing art 每一个 genre 需要这方面的工程，所以the one thing I want to kind of emphasize as a summary is that it's important that you start off with a vision, right? It's fine to be 天马行空 and think of like the most idea, because that's how you then scale back. Because once you go to the ground, 当你接触到版权的问题，你就知道有些东西是做不出的，可是至少你有一定的sort of an idea, right? And slowly, as you find more partners, collaborators, things might change, but you realize then what the resources that you have available. So work within your resources. So I hope this session allows you to start thinking, maybe even form friendships and relationships. Might even want to work together and apply for funding. Okay, I'm going to just quickly write my email here if you have. 如果你有任何问题的话，如果你真的想要做一个 performance archive，你可以直接跟我联系，然后我可以提供你一些资料。也谢谢大家，这次的工作坊就结束了。
也谢谢你 ，Elvin， 谢谢。多谢，谢谢 Elvin。Elvin 的工作已经完成了。在香港其实我也谢谢他，就是从一个本来是看他的文章，然后邀请他过来，然后他。把他的经验跟我们分享，其实中间的过程也不太，我也觉得很兴奋，因为有这样的一个机会。那我知道有部分的同学可能要参加下面的那个 VR 的体验，所以就你们应该已经开始了，所以其他同学就如果有兴趣下午的活动的话。应该还是可以有报名的機會的，可以去我們辦公室去問一下。我們辦公室就在下一層L306 係啦。咁呢嗰個工作坊都係 L306 嘅，係啦。咁謝謝大家，保持聯繫。